So welcome to linked lists and general advice. If we're able to get through linked lists, we'll get to the general advice. And next slide, please. So linked lists are like a kind of data structure that are really useful. For those of you who have done like object-oriented programming before, you're probably familiar with it. And the reason, like, I did a review session. I think I even did a session on linked lists. But the reason I'm doing it again is because it's really important. In my interviews, like a lot of questions were linked list questions. If you're applying for intern positions, a lot of times like the only things they can ask are linked list questions because they're easy and they're like, they can like expect you to know at least that much. So this is how to create one in Java. You just do class node int data. Like that's what it's going to contain. It can like that int data could be anything else, like be string data or character data, something like some kind of data type. And then it's going to contain a pointer to the next node. So it's kind of like a chain. And that's the constructor where public node int data, and then this data equals data. In the Eclipse, like we're actually live code this, which I'm not sure how we're gonna do because screen sharing is not working. Hopefully it works after it. Actually, I do the next equals null, which I forgot to put in. But that's basically, it's just kind of like a contingency. You don't have to do that. Can you go to the next slide? Thanks. So here's how we insert to a tail, and like the cracking the coding interview kind of talks of a runner technique, which is this. Basically, you like take a temp node or a cur node, or like I call it cur pointer because Arup Guha, that's what he taught us. And what you do is put it in a while loop. So while the next is not null, keep going. And when do you think it's going to say like, oh, the next one's a null? It's going to be at the last node because the last node's next is going to be a null. So, and then we just like, once we're at the last node, we just create a new node and link it. Okay, next one. Here's how you delete a node. For the like for the top or the front or like the top of the chain or the front of the chain, the head pointer, all you have to do is just like make head equals like the head pointer equals the next one, the second one. So like the first one just kind of fades away and into like oblivion. And for the tail node, it's a bit trickier, but you used to do the same runner technique. And here you see that the while cur.next is not equal to null. That's because like you can't go to the last one. Like once you're at the last node, there's no way to go back. So you have to go to the second last node, and that way, like when that exits out, it's going to be in the second last node. And now we just say that to the second last node, oh, you're the last node. There's no node after you, and that's it. Like, that's how you delete it. Now we're getting into problems, and I know I'm rushing this, but because there's a lot of things we have planned today, or I have planned today. Albert, could you go to the next slide?
Yeah, sure. Actually, can I just add one thing about the deleting the node thing?
Sure.
Okay, so Arjun isn't wrong when he says like when you're doing the head node, you're just gonna make your head the next node. That's true for Java, but with C, you do need to free the head node for memory leaks. Well, just to prevent memory leak. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, you are.
It's not in CS1, but
well, yeah, and that's the memory leak is because like it's the head node is still kind of technically connected to like that one node that you just kind of like forgot existed is still technically connected to the new head node, and that can like cause some sort of like a memory leak. So you should probably free that, but you should be careful like that you don't lose access to like the second node. Like this is the thing with linked lists, that you have to be really careful not to like lose access to the head node at any point. Because if you lose access to the head node, like you've lost access to the whole list. Thanks, Albert.
Yeah,
okay, so here are the problems. And I'm gonna attempt to share my screen again. Let's see how that goes. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just a bit finicky, but when it works, like I don't mess with it. So like if you don't like the setting, too bad. Sorry. I don't want to mess with this any more than I have to. I'll also zoom in a bit so you guys can see like also like I told you guys to like do a lot of practice. Like I do a lot of practice. This like I wiped my computer very recently and like this is just the new stuff that I have. So like if you want to be good, then you have to do a lot of practice. So here's the problem, just given a linked list, which is like, I guess I haven't provided a visual for it. So it looks like this. So this is a linked list. Like this is the head pointer, head node, which is connected to to B, C, D, and D is the last node, which is that why D dot next is null. Okay. So and also for the sake of speed, I made a node class. It's just a simple one that I showed you guys. The only thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to set next equals null. It's just good practice. So let's dive right into it. So the problem is that given a linked list, you don't know the size of, by the way. We're going to do this again. Tell me what the second to last or the third to last, or like given a number k, what is the kth to last element of the linked list? So I'm gonna like let that sink in for like a minute here, and like I want you guys to start thinking of ways to do it. Albert, hopefully you know how to solve this. I'm not gonna make you do it, but hopefully you know how to do it. You probably know how to do it.
I have an idea. I'm just not sure. But
Awesome.
I'm mouth shut.
Yeah. 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 Like you should even if you have like whatever like dream job, internship, whatever, like this is for everyone. You should not stop practicing because then you can go for some better stuff. So I'm gonna wait for like 10 more seconds. All right, ideas? Anyone want to say something?
Yeah, I have an idea, but is this like a linked list that goes like in one direction, like singly linked?
Yeah, it's a singly linked.
Okay.
Linked list does not store the size. Sorry.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is that you would need to traverse the linked list once to get its size because it's not stored. And then with that size, you could probably do some arithmetic with the given last position and then set like some kind of counter and traverse a second time to reach that K plus node.
Okay, that's great. That's a good strategy. I used that in my Microsoft interview, or I mean, I just like told them, but it's not the most optimal strategy. Like if we had a little more time, I would code it up, but it's a good answer. It's a valid answer. But let's think about these time complexity for that one. So you're traversing through the whole linked list once, which is an O of n. Then you're calculating how far you need to traverse again, which is like another, I guess, O of n. So in terms of like big O, it doesn't really matter because you still have to like go through the whole linked list at least once. But if your interviewers are looking for like the most optimal solution, then they'll say that you're traversing through the list twice. This is a perfectly valid solution. It'd be accepted in an interview, I'm just saying, but like there's something that you can do better. Okay, Alex says, Alex, why don't you just like unmute yourself and talk about your solution?
My solution is the exact same thing, just worded differently.
Okay, never mind. So Albert, do you want to say?
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the most optimal one, but you're still having to traverse through the entire list, but I'd push them all to a stack. The idea with the stack is that so it kind of reverses order. And then I'd pop k times, and then ideally the kth element that I pop out is the kth last element.
Really original solution. Awesome. But still, like it's still going through the list like
Yeah.
twice.
Well,
But it's
K.
better than the previous. Like, well, okay. It's average
plus
case,
K.
I'd say would be better than the other one because, like, what if K is just N? So you're going all the way back to the first one.
Yeah, and also the space complexity was. I don't know. I mean, space complexity is okay. I guess it's still.
Nobody cared. Like people. I mean, not nobody, but like
Very
people
few
care
care.
less about space than about time in general. Like in the olden days, they cared about like space a lot more because like that thing, right, where Apollo, the onboard computer on Apollo 13, I think, only had, or like whatever, one of the space missions had only like some megabytes of space, and even that was considered a lot. Like the whole navigation of that was done in that much space. So like space was important back then, but now, and even now it is, but like now you can get away with like suboptimal solutions space wise, but what you're really looking for is to optimize time. So I'll just say the solution. Basically, just put everything in an array list, and then like because lookup times in an array list are O of 1, like once you know what you're looking for, just go to that index in the array list and pop it out, or like just return that. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna quickly code it up. Sorry, what?
What's the runtime for that? Like you have to still go through every element in
Yes,
the.
it's O of n, but you're not going
Gotcha.
through the list twice. You're only going it through it once, which is
Okay.
technically a bit more optimal.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yes. Like the only reason, like normally I wouldn't make a big deal of it. The only reason I am making a big deal of it is because my interviewer asked me about it, and he was like, "That's not the most optimal solution." So I'm like, "Don't do what I did." Okay, so we're gonna make a new node, a new array list. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just create, like for the sake of cleanliness, I'll create a new method which just returns like a sample array, a linked list. So
Is your screen frozen right now? Is that for
I was
anybody?
about to say it's kind of frozen.
Yeah, it just says main. All I see is main.
okay, that's not good.
Not ideal.
Can you see now?
No. Same does not like your computer, or vice
No,
versa.
it does not. It really does not. I never had this issue before, but now I'm having these issues, and it's very annoying.
But of course.
I have an idea. I have an
What?
idea. Here, give me a sec.
Sure.
If I can make it repel it, you can type in there. I'll just share my screen, so it's like you're typing it. If you're having screen share issues, but
All right,
does that
let's
make
just
sense?
try. While you do that, I'm gonna keep trying. Can you do it? I'll
Yeah.
try to share my screen in the meanwhile. Can you see it now?
Nope.
Amazing.
It's all Java, right?
Yeah. Can you see it now?
Nope.
We're gonna keep doing this. Can you see it now?
One of these times it's got to work, right?
Yeah, it worked the last time. So
Exactly. It's probably fine.
that's how technology works. If you just do it hard enough,
It's
if
true.
you just bang the computer hard enough,
You try
it'll
turning it off
work.
and back on again.
All right, Arjun, I'm gonna share the repellent link. Tell me if you can edit. I'm not sure if you can, but we'll see.
Be able
Okay,
to.
did you Discord it to me? Oh, there,
Yeah, I
okay.
Discorded it.
Very possible. Or you could open one of those live shares on VS Code.
That's
easier.
oh yeah, that exists too.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to do the live share thing. I just know repel it, but
No, VS Code has a like an extension.
It's basically the same thing.
Mhm.
But very useful.
Okay, I can edit it.
Okay, you want me to share my screen then?
Yeah, thanks, Albert.
No problem.
Like, thanks for being here, bro.
Where would you be without me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Screen one. Okay, see it?
I'm not checking. I'm just typing and hoping that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, it
So far,
works.
so good.
Yay, excellent. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just creating the node data, the node class. And here's the
open multiple windows. Open tab.
Here's the constructor. Oh no, they're forcing me to reformat my code in the way I don't like to reformat my code.
Bamboozled. It's fine.
How so?
It's okay, you guys get to see live coding now, right? That's what
Yes. Fantastic.
I have a new keyboard. So it's not the, it's like my typing is not the best right now. So here's, I just made node.java. So that's just gonna be there. And we're just gonna like do this problem in main, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a method that just creates a linked list. Let's output a node. That's gonna be create, I'm gonna call it create sample. Node n equals new node. We're gonna call it 1. Then, you know what? So I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna create a method that just appends to tail. So public void append to tail. And this takes in like a new node. Like it's gonna take in like some data. And we're gonna say like, so using the this keyword, okay? So we're gonna like, so this is like this node specifically and only this node, okay? And we're gonna like this is just like a simple and easy method that we'll be using. So like there's some object-oriented stuff that you need to do, but basically I'm just gonna do this. And I'm gonna call it like X here. So this will be the tail pointer, whatever the new tail pointer will be. And now I have like, I've created this new tail. Like, okay, guys, if you do this in your interview or like you just show off your like flex your object-oriented programming knowledge, that'll be pretty awesome. I think your interviewers will be impressed because, you know. So now what I've done is cur is like this node, specifically whatever node I'm like done, okay? And now it's gonna be while cur.next is not equal to null, or equals cur.next. So this is just your like traversing through the whole list. And cur.next equals this new node that I created called tail. This is kind of useful because then like this way you can still see it, right? I'd look pretty silly if like you can't see it.
We can see it.
Yeah, we can see it. You're good.
And back in the main method, I'm just going to return that n, and now I can just do n dot append to tail 2, and then another n dot append to tail 3. So like, see how simple that is, rather than just like creating like whole new stuff. Object-oriented programming is awesome. We're going to create a 5-node linked list, okay? So now I'm gonna, so
I have a question.
Okay. What?
Real quick. During an interview, are they gonna expect you to code up your own data structures like this, or are you gonna be able to like import java.util and start using the
You can
linked
import java.util and stuff, but like with linked list, yeah, I know that Java has like its own linked list class, but when they ask you these questions, they kind of expect you, at least I think they expect you to code your own up. I could be wrong, totally wrong on that, depends on the interviewer, but like the best thing you can do for yourself is just ask.
Right.
You can just ask them, be like, okay, well, do you want me to do this from scratch or no? Oh, actually, let me put this in advice because I was, okay. Because like this is something that kind of bit me in the butt, and like in my Microsoft interview, but thankfully I was okay. It was fine. So I'm not I'll get to it like in the advice section of this like thing. But if you guys want, I can talk about it right now.
Sure.
What do you say?
Well, now I'm kind of curious.
Okay, so there's a lot of advice I have, but like the biggest one is that always, like, if your interviewer does not provide you with test cases before you start coding, always ask for test cases. Don't ask for it when you've just finished coding it up and like now want to start testing it. And the reason is because you can have like some preconceived misconceptions about the problem, because like some of the like wording in the problem statement might be confusing. But once you see a hard test case, a real test case that the interviewer provides, like a lot of that goes away. Does that make sense?
I think so.
I didn't do that, and that was not good.
Supposed to ask for test cases and they'll have them for you? It's like,
Yeah. Every like, well, they expect you to solve a problem. Like a lot of times they'll just give you the test case with the problem, but if they don't, then you can just ask for it. And if they're really like mean, I guess, they'll be like, no test cases for you, create your own. And at that point, you're kind of on your own.
all right.
But
Also, one more thing, by the way, I heard you mention by using Java util star.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea to use it, but just know that if you do util star, that will load all of the classes in there. It does add on to your runtime. So
I see.
I'm not necessarily sure if they'll penalize you during an interview, but like for assignments and stuff, that's just a quick pointer that Guru mentioned.
they won't penalize you.
Okay.
I also don't think that I also don't think it adds on to runtime. I just think
I've
that
noticed.
it's like bad. Oh, you have? Okay.
I've noticed a little
I
bit.
didn't. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it's like bad programming practice.
Hmm.
And the reason is because like two different libraries we're getting off track. We don't have too much time, but two different
You're right, my
libraries
bad.
can two different libraries can have like the same like named methods. And when it does that, like Java can get a little confused. Because like, for example, if util has a linked list and lang has a linked list, it doesn't, but I'm just saying, then like those can have like different things and Java gets very confused about what you want. And like it'll start throwing unexpected errors. That's why it's like a good idea to only import specifically what you want and not use util star.
Sure.
Unless you're testing stuff and go for it. But
Yeah. So I'm gonna create this method. It's gonna be int k last, and it's gonna take in one input called int k. It's not gonna like return anything. I'm just keeping it as a void. And the reason for that is because I don't like it yelling at me, and like while I'm typing, it's gonna yell at me. So I'm gonna import ArrayList. So see how like, I think ArrayList is in util. Like in Eclipse, there's this thing called, there's this thing you can do, which is Control-Shift-O, which allows you to basically just like circumvent a bunch of these things. And like it'll just auto import whatever you need for like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if
That's
VS
why
Code has something like that.
Yeah, I think it does. Like you just have
Like
to
an
like get that
extension.
extension.
Sure. Huh.
So this code recommendation on Replit seems weird, which is why I had to go back and check like it really wasn't in util. That's why you heard me typing, but you didn't see anything. Okay, so we're gonna create this array list thing. It's gonna contain integers. I'm gonna call it list.
yes, Alex, you're right.
What did Alex ask?
VS Code has an extension for everything.
Amen.
Yes, VS Code has an extension for everything. Sorry, who was saying something? So this just takes in the create sample node, it just takes in whatever's created in the create sample. I don't have to do it this way. I can just import it, but I already did it that way. Like these like specifications don't really matter. What matters is like the solving of the problem. So we're gonna do the same thing that like we have here. Remember the runner technique kind of thing? So I set, well, it was in the slides, but you'll see it now. Basically, I've set this like temp pointer called cur to hold the like n, which is the head pointer. And I'm just gonna keep going through it. So like cur dot next is not equal to null. Actually, in this case, what I'll do is cur is not equal to null. I'll get into why in a little bit. Then I'm gonna do list dot add, and then it's gonna be cur dot data. And then cur equals cur dot net. Okay, so the reason why I did it that way is because when it gets to like, when like it'll start going through. So I'd go through 1, put it in the list, 2, put it in the list, 3, put it in the list, 4, put it in the list, 5, put it in the list. What's after 5? After 5 is null here. So it's gonna be like, okay, well, cur is not equal to null, which means cur is equal to null. So that means that that's it. Like I don't have to do anything to the list. And now we're just gonna print out.
It doesn't let you do sys out.
No, it's so annoying.
That's very nice.
It's fine. I'll do it for you guys though. And we're gonna do list.get. And it's gonna be list.size, I think -k. That should be it. And we're gonna call kth last. And we're gonna give it like second last. I don't know if this will work.
Did you already fill? You need to call it a create sample though. Oh wait, you do. Never mind. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm blind.
Can you also see the console output, by the way?
Yeah. We can make it
Okay,
bigger
great.
actually. That's fine.
Wonderful.
Is the size good for you guys? Do you want me to make it larger?
It could be a little bit larger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Better?
Yeah, that's better.
I can make it larger.
Okay, awesome.
There we
gave
go.
you
Beautiful.
it works. Amazing that I got it the first time. I was expecting I wouldn't get it the first time without any bugs.
Gnarly. Wait, is this the kind of like, this is exactly what you had in your interview for the most
Yeah,
part?
he just said like, given a linked list, print the kth last element.
Nice. Okay.
So this is one problem. We have 2 more to go, so I'll be really quick. Now the problem is given 2 linked lists, sum them. So this was actually a problem that Arjun gave me in my CS1 class. So let's say that you have, Albert, do you remember this problem?
Sorry, you have 2 linked lists. You need to sum them both.
Yeah.
Because Mead never gave that problem to us, but I mean,
Mead.
I imagine it wouldn't be that bad. Mead was a good guy, man. It was a good time.
Really?
Okay,
I hear all
so,
these
like,
horror stories.
People exaggerate it.
Ostensibly.
But I mean, it depends on the person too.
I see.
I shouldn't say people exaggerate it. It depends on the person.
Man.
I mean, Mead was good to me. I never took him, but Mead's a friend.
You have it.
Yeah, I'm friends with a bunch of professors. Can you get any nerdier than me? I don't think so.
Chase the bag.
Okay, so this is let me just put it in comments so Replit doesn't yell at me. Okay, can you see this like later downer part? I mean, what I'm doing, not downer, like bottom part. Okay, so I'm just like trying to simulate this for you guys. There are ways to do this, like this 1 will carry forward, this will be a 7, and then this will be a 9. Okay, so it'll be 9702. This is another interview problem that shows up very commonly. So I thought I'd go over it. Does everyone get what we're doing? So I can quickly go over it.
No, wait. So you're adding.
It's backwards. It's backwards. So like this problem, like this number here.
Yeah.
Is 4351, and this one is 5351. Does that make more sense now?
Yeah. So the list is actually backwards.
Yeah, and like the bottom number is 9702.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, we can do it forward. It's just like quicker to do it. Like it's really simple to do it forward also. But in the interest of time, I'm just gonna keep this like quick. So does everyone understand what we're trying to do here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, there's a bunch of things in the chat. Okay, Christopher says yes. Hey, Christopher.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. So I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna like, okay, so now I'm gonna make this like sample list, like 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. So like, you know, this way, like it's like it's pretty, it's kind of like it doesn't get more extreme than this. Let's also make another list that's just this. So that's just so like you're adding a bunch of 9s and this 9. Actually, let me put this like 8 here. So this way, like it's kind of like a very extreme example of what of a test case. Let's see if I can get this one right in the first shot. So the first thing is like just so that we all know what we're doing. What is 98999? No, what is 98999 plus 9? It's going to be 99008. So what we're looking for is 99008. Okay, I'll just put that in the comments. People with calculators, can you check that? It'd be silly of me if like that's not the answer.
I was gonna take your word for it, but
Same.
99008.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm not stupid. Yay.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna call them node like list A and list B. And any idea on how to approach this?
First instinct is to take the first like list and turn it into a number straight up. Just like.
Well, so the reason, okay, that's fine. But the reason people put things in linked lists is because linked lists are unbounded, right? And like, if you wanted to put it in an integer or a number, like a number or an integer has a bound.
Okay. So we want to do this purely with linked lists.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other thoughts? Also like base conversion. So like this could be, instead of in base like 10, it could be in base 16.
Ooh, gross. Okay.
Okay, Albert.
I was gonna ask like 2-pointer approach probably, right?
Yeah.
So you walk them both? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Do you want to do it, Albert?
I want to let you go because I think I know. I'm still a little fuzzy on the addition, but I think I'm starting to get it now.
That's fine. That's fine. You'll like when you see me code it, you'll like instantly get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a third list. Actually, we don't have to. Yeah, let's not. No, actually, let's just do it.
Don't you have to?
No, you don't have to.
Oh.
And I've just created this new list, and we're gonna put a 0 in it. So this C is like the sum of the lists. Actually, it's better if I call it sum.
Magic variable.
Yeah,
My var.
it makes sense, right? So now we're I'm gonna do a cur A and the cur B, so like the 2 pointers. So cur B. It's Pokemon.
There it is.
All right. So we're gonna do a while cur A is not equal to null, or yeah, and cur B is not equal to null. Now, more general advice, because this kind of like bit me in the butt again, but not in an interview, in a contest. So when you're doing this, you better be like really sure this is exactly what you want to do. Like the and stuff, like maybe what you're looking for is an or, where like it exits out at any one of them, where it like only exits when both of them are like null. But in this case, we want to do an and because we want to exit at like if any one of them just runs out of like things to put, because we can't add null in a number, right? So, well, we can just treat null as 0, like as a placeholder. But I'm trying to like confuse you guys, which I don't want to. So then we're gonna do, we're also gonna do like temp A and temp B. I just like to put my temp variables outside so they don't have to be declared every time in the loop itself. It's a smart thing to do. And also like shows that you're an experienced programmer. Try to put the practice in. So temp A is cur A dot data. And temp B Can anyone of you like set a 10-minute timer here? Because I don't want to like spend more than 10 minutes on both the problems.
Sure.
Actually, like set a 15-minute timer, because that way we have a little time.
Okay.
So temp A and temp B are here. Like we've got their data. And also we're gonna have to do cur A equals cur A dot next. This will be like relevant in the end, but I just like to like put these things in first because then I might forget otherwise. And now inside here, we're gonna do the actual calculation.
I'm confused as to why you need a different thing for current and temp. Like you have like 4 different nodes here.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Okay.
In a minute.
Sure.
Also, I don't have 4 different nodes here. See, node, cur A and cur B are just nodes.
Sure.
These are like just numbers.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So
Ahmed.
That's fine. So we're gonna just add it up. So temp A plus equals temp B. Okay. And now like this may have gone over 10, which means that we have to account for carry forwards now. But before that, we're gonna do a sum mod 10. So let's put in like temp A's, like whatever was in temp A, mod 10. So like if it was 18, for example, or 17 or 18, then like the sum got, like the sum's current node got like the 8 part. Also, this reminds me, you know what it is. The reason we need to do this is because we really don't want to lose access to that sum head, like the sum head on the top. That's why. So this is why I'm gonna just call it like cur C. Okay. So now I'll do like then cur C dot append to tail, and it's gonna be temp A mod divided by 10. So if it's a 0, it's just going to append 10 to the tail, which is actually the top. So because our list is going backwards. So that's it, I think, for like when both the lists are happening. Now we need to account for like when one of them runs out and the other one still has numbers to go. So basically the same thing. So I'm just going to copy paste it here. Except now here it's going to be Kirby is equal to null. And we're not going to do Kirby. And then temp. Oh, and also do a plus equal to, because there may have been a carry here. If this seems confusing to you, don't worry. I'm gonna like come back and explain it. I just need to like finish coding this up. Cur dot. Oh, actually, what might have happened is cur not equal to 10. Because like even here, it may have just like run out of like, it may have just gone over. So what if like there's a carry thing and the sum became 9 or more than that? So now you need to carry another thing, right? So yeah, and you also need to account for that in this. What you do is, I'll also create a third variable. I'm not doing a very good job of explaining this problem, but I swear I'll come back and explain it. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So that should be fine now. And we're just gonna take this thing here and like put it in there because I don't want to bother typing all that stuff again. I'll take out the B stuff.
Be temp A minus temp C, or is there supposed to be an underscore there?
Where?
On 53 and 61.
53
and also 47.
60, 53 here.
Yeah, wait. Oh, sorry, not 53. 61, like how it says temp A underscore temp C.
My bad. It's gotta be a plus.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry. Okay. And I don't need to do this thing in here. I just need to do this. Yeah, that's fine. And I'll just do this thing again. And this time it accounts for when like A ran out and B still have stuff to go. So I'll just replace cur A with cur B and cur B with cur A, basically.
Oh shit, I'm not showing them.
Albert, do you know what I'm doing, basically?
Yeah, it's just that I wasn't showing the code because I kind of zoomed in so much that I'd scroll down a little bit. My bad, y'all.
Okay.
Oh,
For those who don't know,
intimidating.
it's not the first time I've had so many technical difficulties with Zoom. So now we're just gonna print it out. So hopefully this all works. This is something that I like about Java is that sometimes in my C code, I have a lot of memory leaks, but I don't have that in Java because Java does a lot of like stuff behind the scenes to make sure I'm not like my bad programming doesn't actually like cause the thing to crash.
Good old garbage collection.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Java's nice and hand-holdy.
Oh, I'm stupid. We also need to do this here. I really hope this doesn't crash because I won't have time to like debug it afterwards.
Sure. But I mean, you still got 8 minutes.
Oh, I do? That's not a lot.
Fair.
Percy is not equal to null, and you just print it out. I forgot they don't support system sysout.
That's so
That's a
dumb.
pain.
I don't know why not. Who the heck wants to type out system.out.println?
I mean, I suppose it was kind of my fault for being like way too ambitious, but like in terms of like things that I need to finish today,
Oh no. I mean,
because I really need to get to like more things. But we'll just roll with it. Create sample and create different sample. Let's see.
Java.
It's not Java, it's Java C. It's like GCC. It's just Java compiler.
I
Wait,
like
you say
saying
GCC?
Java.
I don't say GCC. I say
That was correct. The only thing is that it added this extra 0 at the end because like it just did. That was the way it wrote it. Like I can just account for that like at the end. But I cannot believe I got it right the first time. Yay.
He's pumped.
Okay. Yeah, I am. Because I've never got it right like without bugs the first time I wrote anything. It's just like I'm on fire today.
Wow.
Okay, we're gonna do loop detection. We still have 8 minutes.
Oh boy.
So, okay, but let me go back and explain this. All right, so
Please.
I'm creating this there are these two nodes, and we're doing the runner technique for A and B, and we've created this new thing called sum, and I've just put it with like a node that has a 0. Like normally, if you have to print it out, it would be 099008. So like the top 0 would just be ignored. Like how 0, 1, you know how like in terms of in how our decimal system works, 0, 1 is just equal to 1 that way. Like that's why this is correct. I just like account for that last thing. But basically, we have our thing here, cur A and cur B, which are the pointers to like whatever, where they're just traversing that list, and cur C is traversing the sum list. I have temp A, temp B, and temp C. When both of them have things to like add, then you just add them. And you account for a bunch of things here. So like you account for the fact that C might already have like carry forward stuff from the previous node or like previous iteration. That's why you just like do a plus equals and then you mod equals 10 and then you do here again. And this is why I had to store
10?
this. Here?
Yeah, when you mod
Because,
by 10?
Okay, if I take, I'll take this out and you'll see the effect.
It'll be like huge numbers.
No, it won't. At least if I have written it right. Albert, do you think we'll have time to get to the next problem?
What was the next problem again? Let me double check.
There we go. See, this is what'll happen. This is why you have to mod it. Oh, I'm sorry. I just like set it equal to. Let me just comment this part.
My bad, y'all. Okay.
You're good.
Let me see what the next problem was.
It is loop detection. I'm gonna go really quickly. Just put everything in a hashtag.
Yeah, basically.
Wait, really?
This is what would happen.
Okay.
This is what would happen. It wouldn't carry forward like properly. That is why we need to do what I did.
Mod 10.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the idea is you're supposed to store like a 1-digit number in each node. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why you gotta mod things.
Oh, so modding things by 10 will like
Makes
get
it,
rid
like,
of the
one
excess
digit.
numbers. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
It gets rid of it from the right or from the left? I forget which one is which.
So when you mod like let's say that you mod like 18 with 10, you're left with an 8.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
It's the remainder operator.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do loop detection in like a minute here. I'm gonna be running like a mile. We're doing a speed run.
Any percent speed run, let's go.
Any completion percentage.
Exactly. Or if you want something shorter, I can do the one that I got in my interview, but I mean, it's super basic. But it's way easier than any of these, so.
Sure, but I have 5 minutes. I want to speed run this now.
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
want to now.
Yeah, go for it. I was saying like if you don't have time to do this one, then we can do mine, but we don't have to do mine.
Where was your interview at?
JP Morgan.
Oh, I see. Did you get it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wait, is it online?
We don't know yet.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Albert's an awesome dude.
I mean,
Thanks.
sure. I think his profile picture on Discord is Bean, so mad respect.
Yeah.
Press
time.
F for respect.
I could tell. I mean,
Okay, I need to import hash set.
Sure.
I don't want my speed run or my like perfect thing to be ruined because I forgot to import hash set.
Better keep that streak.
Yes.
First time compilations. Let's see
Yes,
it.
sir. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oopsie.
So far. Albert, while he's coding that up, like, do you know what he's about to do? If I could like ask a question.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't stop him from coding it up. So the interviewer would be asking a question like, how can you tell if there's a loop in a linked list?
Sure. They can state it like that.
Okay. This is kind of embarrassing. I don't understand what it means by a loop in the linked list. Like it just like repeats?
Yeah, I can draw it out real quick actually. I'll just make a small window.
Sure. Because all the linked lists I've worked with so far, I don't think I've ever encountered one with a quote unquote loop in it.
I mean, do you remember circular linked lists?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Exactly that.
That's a loop. That's a loop.
Oh,
that's the loop.
I see. Yeah. That's funky.
Wait. Whatever. Give me a sec to open it.
Wait, that just means at some point the head points to the tail though, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it doesn't have to point to the tail. I mean, the tail doesn't have to point to the head. It could point to like any other node.
Any other node.
And you just have like a cycle.
Yeah. So do you see the OneNote that I have on the screen?
I don't. Wait, let me see.
Let's only let me show like one thing at a time. That's pretty jank.
It might.
Is it just like a huge like gray rectangle then?
No, I don't see anything actually. It's just
It's repellent?
Just a ripple. You're
yeah,
sharing a specific window, not your screen.
I'm sharing a window. A window.
I didn't know Zoom could have you do that. Like share a
Yeah.
I think.
So this is I've artificially created like a loop in my linked list. What it is that it's 9, then it goes to the next one, which is 9. So like let me make this list. So it's 9, then it goes to 9, then it goes to another 9, then it goes to 8, and then it goes like all the way back to n, like all the way back here.
Like, yeah, I don't have to draw it really. If you just Google circular linked list, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And would the interviewer provide
a test case? Yeah.
Okay.
I think that should be it. Also, let me set this like, oh, there's some useful things.
I think I only sort of get like, so you're supposed to have this method that is like a Boolean maybe?
No, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
it's just gonna print out. It's just gonna print out like if there's a loop or not.
Okay.
1 second here. When I finish typing it up, I'm gonna explain it.
Okay.
I want to do. Do I want to do a ternary?
Bruh.
Yes, do it. Code golf.
You're asking for it. You're asking for a compilation error. Somewhere out here.
Okay, there's your ternary.
Beautiful. If that evaluates to true, it'll say loop not detected.
Wait.
Isn't that the other way around?
That's the other way around.
Yeah.
No, if it's false, then it's gonna say if it's false. Yeah, if it's false, then it's gonna like if it turns. Ooh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Pass.
Place.
Passe.
False.
Beautiful.
Okay.
There
what
we
I'm
go.
doing here, yeah,
Sure.
like, and I'll do this.
Wait, I don't
'Cause-
think that's gonna compile yet.
I think it can compile. I
It's
think
gonna compile.
I don't.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna
Are
be
you sure?
fine.
I think it
Yeah.
expects. Okay.
No way.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
I'll put $1 on it.
Trust.
Okay, I'll take you up.
Cash app. Okay, ternary operator. There's got to. Oh wait. No, I didn't see the two. The.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go back now.
It's because I thought you didn't have 3 things in your ternary operator. I was like, huh, funky. I just realized. Okay. Oof.
It didn't throw me an error. Yes.
Wow.
No.
Wait, why do both? It did both.
Uh-oh. Stinky. Not great.
Too bad.
Let's see. Loop detected or loop not
It's
detected.
fixed now. But my streak is gone.
It was just one small thing. By the
That's
way, the
what
timer
coding
rang like 2
is.
minutes ago, but
Yeah,
it's
there we go. Loop detected.
okay.
All right, so let me quickly explain what I'm doing here. A hash set it's like a set, but it's a hash map implementation of a set. Like, you know how a set cannot contain like 2 identical things? So like what I'm doing is if set can, like if there's a loop and I'm putting these like nodes individually, and it's gonna just put like the memory addresses and stuff, like all that stuff. So like if the node is repeated, not the number, the node itself, then it's going to say that the loop is detected. Otherwise, it's going to say loop not detected. So like if I take this out, like here, then it's going to say loop not detected. Hopefully. Does that make sense?
Yes. For me, anyway.
I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, it
explain
works.
one
Yes,
thing,
sure.
which is
Sure.
how do you like? You're not comparing the numbers inside of the nodes. You're comparing the nodes themselves. How do you compare the nodes themselves?
Oh, because memory addresses.
Pointers.
Oh, you can literally just compare the actual nodes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Does that make sense?
I think so.
All right, Albert, could you go back to the advice section, like the slides? There's like 2 things, like a few pieces of advice, because John here is going to have his interview soon.
Don't remind me.
Okay,
Right.
prep
Yes,
for your
Sid?
behavioral section. Like seriously, prep for the behavioral questions.
Yes.
I put a link here because like one of the alumni at Night Hacks, she did like a very good behavioral prep series that I watched. She's in Microsoft now, and I'm in Microsoft. So it's a good idea to check this stuff. Do the research on the company. She'll go more into detail, like if you watch the slide or watch the video. It's not that big. And dress professionally, even if they tell you not to do it, just do it. Because like if something breaks in terms of tech, like they might think that you're late on purpose, but if they see you dressed in a suit and all, then they're going to be like, oh, this person cannot be late on purpose. Something must have broken, which is kind of useful.
Sure.
if you're late. Be on time.
You were what, 2 minutes early? 2 minutes to spare.
Yeah, be on time. Be on time. Seriously, be on time. And I put a duh there because it's a duh. Then like keep a water bottle next to you, because like a lot of times in these interviews you get really nervous, and it's helpful to have some water next to you so you don't have to like walk to the kitchen and get water. And also go to the bathroom before the interview, because if you're nervous, you know what happens.
Oh boy.
You really don't want to hold it in an interview, and also like you can't really do anything else. So just go to the bathroom before the interview. Also, like when you're doing a problem, just try to talk them through your thought process, because then they'll be like, oh, good points for communication. Smile, because that'll make them like know that you're a social person. And I kind of said this like earlier, ask for test cases and problems. With that, I'm gonna close. Any questions?